The 7-seat Volvo EX90 is a car made for finding tranquility in midtown traffic, with a serene Scandinavian interior. Made to help avoid potential hazards along city streets, thanks to advanced safety features. And with intuitive technology and Google built in, it's the car made for finding the best bagel in Brooklyn. The fully electric Volvo EX90 is perfect for New York. Visit volvocars.com/US to learn more. Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
This episode is brought to you by Chevrolet. Chevy certified service technicians are factory trained to fit your vehicle with the tires specifically developed for it. And with our tire price match guarantee, you get the best fit for the best deal. Let us do the work. Available on select eligible tire brands at participating dealers only. Offer ends 12/31/2025. Terms apply. See dealer for complete details. Visit Chevrolet.com/service to learn more.
Hey, I'm Candice Lim.
And I'm Kate Lindsay. And you're listening to ICYMI.
In case you missed it.
Slate's podcast about internet culture.
And Kate, great news. We have an Astronomer CEO Coldplay update. And it involves Gwyneth Paltrow.
I know, Goop has entered the chat. So it seemed like maybe things were kind of falling off, cooling down because, the CEO steps down. The more recent news was that the HR representative, who was also spotted on that big Jumbotron, she's resigned. It seems like things were quiet. And then Astronomer hires Gwyneth Paltrow to be a spokesperson, and that's in quotes, in this video that they release.
Thank you for your interest in Astronomer. Hi, I'm Gwyneth Paltrow. I've been hired on a very temporary basis to speak on behalf of the 300-plus employees at Astronomer. Astronomer has gotten a lot of questions over the last few days, and they wanted me to answer the most common ones.
The joke in the video is that the video starts displaying questions, like the screen text will be like, OMG, what the actual fuck? And then Gwyneth will cut them off and she'll pretend the questions are about, the very boring specifics of Astronomer software. Kate, I don't know about you. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, so it's a good joke. It's very funny to get Gwyneth because Gwyneth Paltrow is Chris Martin's ex, Chris Martin of Coldplay, Chris Martin, who was the one who witnessed the Astronomer Coldplay moment on stage. So it's funny to have her. I also think the execution of this is very funny. It's funny to have those questions and have her, this kind of knowing reference, this wink that they're actually a pretty boring company and no one knows what they do. That's all good. But I don't know, it really stands out to me because we covered this a few episodes ago pretty in depth, and all the posts from Astronomer that we read out loud were very, professional, very curt. They were not shit posting. And this is just such a different tone, and I'm conflicted about how I feel about it. I want to hear how you feel.
I don't like this. I don't like this for a few reasons. The first one being, that YouTube video we just played, I went to the comments and one of them was like, oh, this definitely is giving SNL sketch, which I think is actually pretty accurate. The way it's written, honestly, gives me college humor vibes.
Yeah.
I think my issue with it is I understand the joke, okay? I understand the conscious uncoupling of it all, and getting Gwyneth is a huge get.
Yeah.
My thing is that I don't think Astronomer needed to insert themselves in this way. That almost kind of gives the company a human feeling, a human voice, which is actually ironic because they do AI software.
Yeah.
And this is not the best comparison, but it kind of reminds me of how Hassan Minhaj, when the New Yorker wrote that profile about him and it really tanked his reputation, he made this 20+ minute YouTube video trying to fact check everything they said. And I have to say, I think that YouTube video he put out did worse damage for himself. And I feel with this video, I genuinely believe that Astronomer, shockingly, maybe their investors don't agree with me, I think the company was about to get away with this unscathed. It had been like a week, which in this news cycle is like so long. Like no one was really caring that much about them. And then by doing this, it's kind of like, oh, you have more to say?
Yes.
We left the bar. You're still there? Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit like, like we said, the conversation was already starting to drift. Like we had we were kind of done with it. Like the CEO resigned, the HR rep resigned, we were ready to move on. And instead of like moving the conversation forward, this video just kind of extends that same viral moment. And like, I know my sympathy is probably misplaced here. And I know the people involved were doing something really bad. And it was really bad that they were doing it as like really high up executives in this company. But to me, it's a little bit what we were talking about when it comes to misinformation. It's not them I feel bad for, but it's kind of like the families and the people who are collateral to this viral moment. And it feels like by extending it and making this video that kind of laughs about it, I don't know. I guess I'm just feeling like, aren't you? There's a time and a place to shitpost, and I think it's weird to suddenly take the tone of like, LOL, like we're laughing with you, when it's kind of like, no, like they already, like everyone's laughed at them enough, and now you're like, I don't know, like I guess it's the idea of like, not only do I leave my company and then I look and the company is like making shitpost videos about me. It's like, surely that violates some kind of labor law. Don't shitpost me after I leave. But I don't know. I know that I shouldn't have any sympathy for like the executives cheating on each other, like that. I'm not sympathetic towards them, but I am more from like a principle sort of state of mind. I'm like, I don't know about this.
Next thing we know, we like go through your files and you're like a huge investor in Astronomer.
I know. I'm like, yeah, for some reason I just don't like this. Yeah,
you're like, you gave Andy Byron his first 100K. Interesting.
Yeah. And
believe it or not, there was plenty of other drama happening on the internet while the Astronomer scandal was going down. In fact, you and me, each saw weird things online this last week that we wanted to tell each other about, but we also wanted it to be a surprise.
Yeah, that's what the beautiful thing about Candice and I as co-hosts is. We have very different FYPs. We sometimes have the same. We love when we find crossover. But in the case of today's episode, we're each going down our individual rabbit holes and then telling each other about what we found. And so what we decided to do for today's episode is look into those strange stories that are just showing up for us. And so Candice went and looked down one rabbit hole. I looked into another. I don't know what she found out, and vice versa. But we are now going to tell each other, and by extension you, about them. But first, let's take a break. When we are back, I'm going to fill Candice in on an ominous new cult that has TikTok in a tizzy. This podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
This podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it, so your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey there! If you are a regular listener who enjoys ICYMI, it would mean the world if you gave us a 5-star rating or review on Apple or Spotify. Every episode of ICYMI is different, from calico critters getting into legal battles to taking deep dives into the drama within online fandoms. Sometimes that means our episodes can become part of those stories, resulting in negative reviews from people who aren't actually listeners of the show. That's why it's so important for the real ICYMI heads to be represented in these ratings. If that's you, it would be great if you could show us some love. All right, back to the episode.
And we are back. And I want to say that when my strange story first came across my FYP, I scrolled. So I can't even tell you how many videos I go through, even in just the hour time limit I set for myself on TikTok. Like, frankly, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
But so I'm scrolling, and I see a video. It's a young woman talking about starting a cult.
Oh.
And like, even though we had just read a book about cults for our book club, or maybe because of that, I was a little culted out. And it didn't seem to really actually be like anything serious. It seemed like kind of just like a joke. I don't know. I kept scrolling. I was like, not for me, not interested, and lived my life. And I didn't think about it again until I came across a post on Reddit. And the post itself is asking, how are you feeling about the stuff going on with @NotGigiJarvis? And I look at the image, and it is the image of the woman I saw when I was scrolling talking about the cult. And so I was like, okay, wait, what is this? And I see in the sort of discussion on Reddit that they're talking about how this cult has escalated to the point that there are, quote, rumors that people are sacrificing their pets, getting the symbol tattooed and carving it into their skin.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
So I'm like, okay, I missed a few chapters here. Like, how did we get from sort of innocent laughing TikTok video to alleged animal sacrifice?
Cruelty.
And I know. And so I was like, okay, I have to dive back in. And so I go and I find her profile. So her name, like I said, is Gigi Jarvis. I think she's in her early 20s because obviously I did all the standard digging and saw that she graduated college in around 2022. So, she's young and she seems to have made accounts before on TikTok. And that's like, it seems like marketing, working with brands. She has a fluency in it, which I think is important to remember. But this account, this @NotGigiJarvis, she didn't start this one until June of this year. And when she started it, kind of the content she was making was like, I have 0 followers and 0 videos. If this video finds you, it's for you. Like, she clearly loves to experiment online a little bit.
Can I first off ask about that? Like, so basically, like, these are the TikToks where there's, like, no captions, no hashtags, no, like, you don't follow this person, you've never seen this person. And honestly, this is tarot shit where they're like, if this is on your For You page, this message is for you. You're going to definitely find the love of your life next Tuesday. And the worst part is sometimes I watch it for too long. So they're like, keep it going. Yeah. Do you believe that? Like, do you believe that the ones with like, no hashtags?
It's what people do where they personify an algorithm, or like not even personify.
Like Jarvis.
They treat an algorithm like it has some like higher intelligence.
Spiritual calling.
Yeah, that it's like, that it is above us. An algorithm, like at its core, is just like a pattern and like a series of instructions to follow a pattern. And so it's really not spiritual at all. But you can see, with that video she makes of like, if you see this is for you, she started dropping these little hints that I think are precursors to what happened, because later that same month, she made a video about how apparently every one of us has 7 doppelgangers. I didn't fact check that.
Okay.
Sounds sus. But she says she wants to get all of her doppelgangers together and make a cult. So clearly the interest is there, but this whole saga doesn't kick off really in earnest until a video that she posted on July 10th.
I'm starting a cult and you guys are all going to be a part of it. The first thing I want to start doing is Victim of the Week, where whoever drops the funniest photo in my comment section, I'm going to steal your profile picture and become you for a whole week. Also, anyone that follows me, feel free to chime in on the rules to our little society. Like, I feel like holidays could be really fun for us, or maybe, like, we have a certain emoji so you know that you're in the inn, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just feel like it'd be really good for us. Let me know.
Okay, so Candice, from that video alone, would you join that cult?
Okay, no, because first off, her tone has like 15% of that TikTok, cadence, irony to it. So in my head, watching this, I thought she was joking the whole time. I thought she was just being like one of those girls on TikTok that posts like, I hate my BF content, that type of vibe of like, I'm just joking. Ha 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 ha.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Important to keep in mind because that is exactly what I thought when I first saw the video, which is that video that I just played you. The one that I was like, okay, bye. And I kept going.
Yeah.
But little did I know, 2.2 million people were served and watched that video. And they were enthusiastic about it, like in the comments and really, you know, saying like, yes, let's do a cult.
It sounds like she's trolling and just bored and like having fun on TikTok. I mean, I'm like trying to figure out like what is it that makes it so like unbelievable to me that anything she's saying is being taken seriously. I also am looking for the signs. I can't see them.
I mean, it just is kind of like, yeah, we're all in on a joke. Like TikTok loves an in joke. It just kind of feels like when you go to the playground and you're like, okay, we're all cats.
And you're like, bet. Yes, and?
Right. And no one else is like, oh, those are really cats. And none of us are like, we are cats. It's just like, no, we're just like all participating in this. Whatever. We're bored. Right. And so these videos just continue. Like she has one that's like, okay, what's our symbol? And then they come up with a name. Are you ready for this name, Candice?
No.
Children of the Waning Star.
Children, CWS. Cows, COWS.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Oh, yeah, cows. I mean, my whole thing is stars don't wane. Waxing and waning is what the moon does.
Hey, now.
But that is actually the least of the issues here. Well, because, you know, as far as I was concerned, that sounds like you share this. This is a game of pretend. Like, actual cults don't call themselves cults. Like, I don't... There's no part of me that this is setting off alarm bells. And so in the extent that this is perpetuated, it is, again, by people, in my opinion, joking. You know, people start posting videos about like, oh, praising Gigi. They make fan cams of her. Like, it's kind of like, you know, we're having fun. We're playing like, oh, this, because it's so not a cult that it's like funny to behave like it is.
My question is like, do you have a reason why you did not jump in and join the cult? Because it seems easy to participate.
I think I was culted out from our book club. And I think I was like...
You have cult fatigue.
I was like, you guys don't even know cults. If your skin's not turning blue...
Oh, maybe that's what it is, too. If you're being like, okay, well, you're not mentioning Lemuria. You're not talking about chicken parm. Like, you're fake.
Yeah,
you're fake.
You're not... Yeah, this isn't Love is One. Move along.
Yeah. Love is lost.
No, what it reminds me of is... And I didn't participate in this either, even though I thought it was funny. But that... whole thing last year that was like, oh, this is the highest quality industrial grade glycine.
Yeah. We did an episode about that.
That type of thing where we all just kind of agree to be in on a very, very stupid joke. And like the more seriously we take it, the funnier it is.
Right.
For no purpose. And that is what this was to me. But it did start rubbing people the wrong way. They were like, hey, this shouldn't be taken lightly. This is making light of something that actually really happens to people and framing cults like they're this like, ooh, like let's all join this cult. It's fun. Like that's problematic. That's not how cults should be viewed. So we have these kind of two parties. We have this so-called cult clashing with basically, and this is a broad term, and I don't mean this derogatorily, but like the morality police. That's what escalates this beyond inside joke into like viral moment. And so this is where things get weird. And it's where, you know, we go from like viral moment and the backlash to like animal sacrifice territory.
Oh, yeah.
Because in these conversations about why this so-called cult is bad and why it should stop, it's almost like saying that it's being done in bad taste doesn't feel strong enough. And so then there are these accusations that, no, you're taking this lightly, but people are taking it seriously. And I heard that someone like sacrifice their dog, or like I've seen pictures of someone with a tattoo of the emoji or someone carving it into their skin. I tried to dig. I've seen no evidence of animal sacrifice. I've seen screenshots of people saying that they did post about it, but then they were trolling and like that was not what happened.
Yeah.
I've also seen pictures of the skin carving.
Oof.
I'm going to show it to you.
No.
And here's the thing. You're scared. And so was I when I realized that's what I was about to look at.
Okay.
But I want you to tell me what you see.
Okay. I'm clicking on it now. Okay, hold on. Am I looking at the right thing? It's like very blurry video, two hands, and like I see some computer drawn like symbols, but
yes. So from
what?
Yes. So that is what people were pointing. Everyone was like, no, the evidence is on this person's account. Go look. This person did it. I went to go look. All the comments are like, this is disgusting. You shouldn't do this. And I'm like, what am I looking at? Yeah. And I finally discerned it. So those like computer graphics are there to try and show you what the markings on their wrists are, which appears to just be like Sharpie, which means for me, it is not compelling enough evidence that people were carving this in. Like if that's what is the source of this skin carving rumor, that's nowhere near convincing. And so it's like there's some type of mass hysteria about this thing that in terms of what I've seen with my own eyes is nothing. Is truly nothing. But it's kind of like the controversy and the backlash has taken on a life of its own. And so it's like, regardless of whether the animal sacrifice is real or the skin carving is real, Gigi is hearing all this and posts this video.
Here we go. Statement from the leader of the cows.
Hey guys, so we're not going to use the word cult anymore to describe us. Which honestly makes sense because we're just a community that uses dark aesthetics. No one is actually doing rituals or sacrificing an animal, I hope.
Yeah, so very much she's trying to put the worms back in the can a little bit.
Right.
Like, because it's like, this got out of control and it's not actually anything.
I will say, though, I wonder if maybe that's why this TikTok ended up on so many For You pages, because the word itself, cult, is so gripping, meaty, like attractive, right?
Yeah. She did a few videos to address this, and that was the most succinct. But one of the things she says in an earlier video, she just went with cult because she was like, yeah, this will get people's interest.
I think
she was using marketing brain and then ended up stumbling into something much bigger because even though this video, she's like, we're changing the language. We're going to say community. That's really what it is. These are the comments. Someone going, this is how cults start, by the way.
Of course.
Or, we're just a community, in quotes, says every cult leader. And so it's like, who is actually brainwashed right now? Is it this fake cult that has never really purported to be anything? Or is it this side of the internet that is, I don't know, it's like convinced of what? Because first she gets backlash for saying it's a cult. Then she's like, no, it's not. And then, but like the internet's too far gone that they're like, no, actually it is. And you just don't even realize what you're doing. It just seems to be like a determination that she is at fault.
Yeah.
For playing in an ill-advised manner. But the fact that it's escalated to this, to like a moral panic. Like this is how those like todayshow.com articles come up of like teens are doing this challenge.
Yeah.
It's like this is absolutely something that someone's PTA is talking about this year about like signs your kids are in the TikTok cult, and it's not real and it's never been real.
Yeah, I think after you giving me the download of what's going on, I actually think I've solved it, Kate. I've solved it. I know what's going on. Here's the root. Press conference, turn on the cameras. Here we go. Breaking news. We are taping this the last week of July. I really think the issue is people need to open up the schools.
Right.
Y'all are bored.
No.
Everyone is bored.
Fully.
This girl was bored. She did because my whole thing is that like the content itself is just not engaging enough for me to care. I have to believe that the people who are jumping on this talking about animal sacrifice. By the way, we can verify no animals were harmed.
Nothing that I've been able to see. Yeah.
Okay,
nothing
good.
at all.
Great. I think the people who are like jumping on this, trying to make content of it, I literally think they're just bored. And like what's funny is that like if I was a bored, let's say teen. Let's say I was a bored teen waiting to go back to school in a few weeks. I have two options. I either go with my mom to Target at 9 a.m. or I stay in my room, air conditioned, and basically just like watch this random girl who like kind of looks my age and is like doing something stupid and just kind of like follow along for both the backlash and the lore creating. Unto which I would say, guys, you need to blend both worlds. Here's what you do. Write fan fiction. You're welcome. But you know what, Kate? Thank you. Thank you for bringing me on this journey. I think we can close it. Yeah, we'll close the case.
Case closed, no cult.
Great.
And now we're going to take a break. When we come back, Candice is going to tell me a strange story from her side of the internet.
Make your next move with American Express Business Platinum. Earn 5 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels booked on AmexTravel.com. And with a welcome offer of 150,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership, your business can soar to new heights. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum. Amex Business Platinum. Built for business by American Express.
At Starbucks, we've more than doubled parental leave for full and part-time baristas, giving them up to 18 weeks of paid time off, so they can be there for early bedtimes, late nights, first laughs, and spend more time with the best company they know. At Starbucks, benefits like parental leave are just the start. Learn more about Starbucks industry-leading benefits at starbucks.com/partners.
Your local Benjamin Moore retailer is more than a paint expert. They're someone with paint in their soul, a sixth sense honed over decades. And if you have a question about paint, it's almost as if they can read your mind.
I sense you need a 2-inch angle brush for the trim in your family room. Regal selected an eggshell finish and directions to the post office.
Benjamin Moore paint is only sold at locally owned stores. Benjamin Moore. See the love.
And we're back. Kate, it's my turn. The tables, they have turned. Because I'm here to ask you.
I'm scared. I am scared.
You should be. Have you heard of someone named Jessie Murph?
No. I can't even tell you. I looked in every ridge and crevice of my brain just then to see if I could conjure that name. No.
Nah, and that's okay because a month ago, I was you, okay?
You were just like me.
Yeah, and here's the deal. Jessie Murph, she is a singer. She's from Alabama. This is how I first encountered her with a song I heard going viral on TikTok.
Got a new man, got a new damn mansion in Malibu. I had to get back at you. I had to get back at you. I just bought a fast car so I can run over you.
The first voice you're hearing is from Jessie Murph. The second one is Sexy Red, who very popular on TikTok. Kate, have you heard this song? Or any of these names I'm saying, actually?
I've heard of Sexy Red.
Good.
I was like, I'm sure when I hear this song, it'll jog my memory. Nope, still a completely blank slate in my head.
And that's okay, because if not this, then I wonder if maybe this has made it to your timeline. I'm going to play you another song of Jessie's. She performed it on Jimmy Fallon about a week ago.
Studies are now saying that cigarettes are recommended and women belong in the kitchen.
You go to church on a Sunday, wake up on Monday. You go to work and I'd stay home and sing and do fun things. I might get a little slap, but you wouldn't hit me on Snapchat. Don't text me at 2 a.m. saying where you at boy.
How old is this person?
Do you want to guess?
21.
20.
Okay, that explains a lot of what I just saw. Well, so if what I saw was someone in a kind of Amy Winehouse hair, but like Priscilla Presley outfit.
Yep.
There's a touch of Lana Del Rey in there too. But singing about I don't like hearing a domestic violence line in a same verse as a Snapchat reference. I'll just end it there.
Yeah. And I think you are pretty much hitting the apex of Discourse Mountain, which is that this is 1965. It is a song off Jessie Murph's recent album. It's called Sex Hysteria. And there are some people on Twitter who are taking issue with this performance, not only because of the aesthetic, it's very retrogradism, but also the lyrics that are in the song. One of them you're pointing out is her saying, I might get a little slap, but you wouldn't hit me on Snapchat. I'm going to bring up 2 more lyrics, and you should tell me if it makes you more mad or less mad than slap.
Okay. I think I know.
All right, here we go. The next one. I would be 20, and it'd be acceptable for you to be 40.
Now I'm like, oh, you just want someone to get you're trying to get a rise.
Oh, yeah. Okay, and now I will give you the lyric that I think most people are mad about. It's in the chorus where she says,
I think I give up a few rides if you would just love me like it's 1965.
I mean, there's ways to write about this type of feeling. Like I would say Florence and the Machine has a song, A Kiss with a Fist is Better Than None. And I remember I was on Tumblr and people were taking issue.
Yep.
That wasn't cheeky the way she did it. It was like, it was kind of supposed to be showing like, oh, that's how bad of a place I was in with this relationship. That was what my brain thought. I'm not getting that from this. I'm getting like a kind of Sabrina Carpenter Winky vibe.
Yes.
That seems to just like not really understand. Like you can make these references and you can express even this complicated feeling that you might have, but I don't like that it's not done in the context of like, this is how fucked up this relationship was that I felt this way. It seems to not have any type of like, it just seems to be like, hee hee.
Yeah. No, so I think we're kind of circling the right pool here, which is that like you are seeing Jessie Murph for the first time in this scenario and immediately strong reactions, right? Strong reactions, some questions of like, is this anti-feminist? Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
The reason I brought this to you today is because I was not surprised by the way people online reacted to the lyrics. I am surprised because it's coming from her. And I actually know her a little more as an artist who does not make music like this, but it's like the first time a lot of people are hearing about her. So when this clip happened, people got mad, and I wanted to figure out if it was warranted, or if maybe these were instant reactions without analysis. So obviously there are a few places I go. Number one, Twitter. Twitter is actually the reason I even knew about this clip. I didn't even know she was on Jimmy Fallon. It came to me via someone literally writing like in a repost. Read the lyrics. It's literally far-right propaganda that is encouraging women to give up their rights.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's really hard with something like this, like art.
Right.
Because I guess I don't see this as prescriptive. I just see it as a bad joke.
Yes. Okay, so you're hitting the right thing, right? Because people on Twitter and TikTok, they're calling it ignorant and sexist. But the thing is, you know this, like Twitter and TikTok comments, which do have like character limits, you can't really get into the nuance of anything, right? You just like have to throw off your best one-liner and just hope it like gets to the top, right? So I go on TikTok. People are taking a lot of that energy from 1965 backlash to like videos that have nothing to do with this song, but they're still in the comments. Like the top comments are like, please stop making music. And like hating the song. Then you scroll down a little more in her TikTok comments and there's some verified musicians supporting her new album, whatever. Then we go to Reddit. In the Pophead subreddit, someone posted about this backlash. And they said to them, they don't even like the song. So that's one shot. But isn't it clearly satire? And their whole argument is kind of like what you're saying of like, this probably a really bad joke that one artist could probably pull off as like cheeky, like ha ha ha, there's no way I could believe this.
Yeah, because someone who was actually promoting this message would not describe going back to 1965 as, quote, giving up your rights. Like that, that's not.
Because you would say like, hey, it was so much better back then.
Right. You wouldn't frame it like that because that wouldn't be how you felt. Like you wouldn't feel like you had any rights that were lost. And so it's definitely not actually advocating for this, but I think it's hard because if it is satire, I don't think the visual and the aesthetic makes that clear enough. Because I think Sabrina Carpenter does a lot of like winky type stuff like this, but her whole thing is very like over the top, very like she has a sense of humor on stage. That's the thing. There's not humor in this performance.
I like what you're saying about Sabrina. So let's get into that part of it, which is that despite what Jessie Murph's music and her message is through this song, her music and her image complicate things because they're sending two different signals. Her music, and tell me if you agree with this, her voice is very Amy Winehouse reincarnated, husky, deep. One of those voices that you're like, even if you're not a country singer, you should sing country a la Miley Cyrus. Her image, you're hitting the right things, right? She herself likens herself to Priscilla Presley getting married, big hair. Lana Del Rey, the Americana imagery. When she performed this song on Jimmy Fallon, someone on Twitter wrote like, clearly right-wing industry plan. And it was like, oh, hold on. Because then that triggered me too of kind of like, is this not kind of the conversation we've been having for the past year about Sabrina Carpenter and how a lot of parents with like young kids who are listening to her album, there seems to be this growing, maybe oversaturated worry about retrogradism and how it kind of like sneakily promotes tradwifery and like how Sabrina's sexual innuendos, like they're not going over some kids' heads, they're seeping into it, and like that is freaking people out. But I personally have always found that to be like an overreaction. Like the music is good because the music is good. Like just be fine.
Yeah, I think you do your research if you're bringing a kid to a Sabrina Carpenter concert.
I know.
A part of me is almost like, am I guilty of doing the thing that we were just talking about in the segment with a cult, where she's like, it's a cult, and then people are taking it at face value. It's kind of like, I guess it's similar here, where it's like, I don't think she's actually saying any of this stuff, and I do think it's meant to be like, yeah, let's go back to 1965, and I have no rights, and like, you hit me, but because you didn't hit me on Snapchat, like, it's very coy. But I think maybe it's similar, where it's like, I don't think there needs to be a whole conspiracy that she's like a right-wing industry plant. I don't think they know how to do that, to be quite honest. But but I do think you can just go, okay, I think this could have used, I think you could have cooked a little longer on this before releasing it to like make sure it was right. That's where I think I've landed as we've talked about it.
That's so funny. It's very kind of like the CEO doesn't know how to turn a Word doc into a PDF, but he makes more than I ever will.
Yes, yeah. It's just like, no, I think that's giving a lot of credit.
Yeah.
I don't think they would not, the work that would take. I just think this is someone more likely capitalizing off an aesthetic in a moment right now, like what you were saying with Sabrina Carpenter, and this is like retrograde Americana stuff. Like it's not someone being put in there to spread that. It's someone seeing that that's popular and going, okay, I'm going to do that now.
And guess what, Kate? You were right all along.
Oh my God. Well, don't worry. I knew it.
Because Jessie Murph goes on TikTok after this performance, after a lot of people are in her comments criticizing her for glamorizing abuse. And she says, this entire song is satire. Are y'all stupid? First off, the answer is yeah. Yes. But no, she confirms it. 1965 was written as a satirical song. She gives an interview to Teen Vogue's P. Claire Dodson, like specifically talking about this backlash. And Jessie Murph was like, I made this song as a response to the hardship of modern dating in 2025. And I think a lot of people, especially if you're like in the dating app trenches, you kind of know what this is like, right? Where at some point your low is so low that you're kind of like, arranged marriage actually tastes kind of good right now. Or like, I kind of have a craving for the old days. Like,
right.
Why is showing ankle not enough in this club? Stuff like that, right? Now, the thing is, obviously, in that Teen Vogue piece, they had to really clarify that, like, okay, the reason people are mad about, like, giving up your rights in 1965 is because back then women could not, get their own mortgages, their own credit cards. They could not legally have abortions. Like, and like civil rights era, like we're having a lot of conversations.
Right. And I think right now it kind of feels like we're already giving up our rights.
Exactly.
Like they're already being taken from us. Like it just, I think
Exactly.
I agree. I think it's definitely satire and I can see it. Yeah, I just think it should have been honed a little bit more for it to, because I also think if everyone misunderstands it, it's not everyone being dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know if you hit this correctly. I don't know. It can be both. It can be both.
I think that's kind of the hard part about watching Jessie Murph try to kind of crawl herself out of this situation. Because first of all, 1965 is actually not really representative of her music.
I was going to ask, like, I would believe she's a right-wing psyop if, like, all of her music was this, but it sounds like this might be an anomaly.
No. So basically, I've been listening to her first 2 albums just to get like a better taste of what's going on. Her first album, which came out last year, it's country-ish, but it's country-ish in the way that Post Malone is country-ish, of like trap beats, hip hop, could play on pop. Her latest album is actually pretty devoid of country because it's more hip hop. Like, she's working with Sexy Red, Gucci Mane, Lil Baby's on it. She had like a song on the Fast X soundtrack. But the thing is, I think a lot of us definitely sometimes have artists where like the art goes to the wrong places because you scroll on Spotify and it says like fans might also like, and the first name is Morgan Wallen, Jelly Roll, Megan Moroney, Shabuzi. Like her music, and to be fair, she's from Alabama. Like her song and specifically the way she dictates and her vocals are so country that unfortunately those are the people grabbing for her. And there is now... It's kind of like an estuary of kind of like we have one person who, hey, follows Joe Biden on Instagram and is like making satirical songs. And you have an audience that is grabbing at her that is not really vibing with her like that. And so now we have some issues. We have some arguments.
I think my thing about this is that I think it was written to be discourse.
Yeah.
And I think it is a testament to like what TikTok and the internet has done to music, that what you have to consider now when making music often goes beyond just, do I like it? Is this an expression of my my art? Is there talent on it? It's also like you have to have that brain of like, will people talk about it? Will people make a dance to it? Will like it make any waves? And one way to do that is to piss people off.
Yeah. I think that's very much the way that the music industry is kind of like trying to work with TikTok, of just kind of like, your song can be so bad, just do whatever, say whatever, go wherever to like get eyes on it. And I unfortunately think Jessie Murph prescribes to this because
rage bait music, it's like
right. And look, this album did make the Billboard top 10, so unfortunately I think in her label's eyes they're like, oh, this is a success. And you know what, hey, she may pull a Taylor Swift, right? Many eras, Reputation era would be fun. Dates Travis Kelce, who she does follow. It could be a good twist for her. But in the meantime, do you want me to keep sending you songs from her? Are you good?
You know
loaded?
what? I want you to. I want to believe she's more than this song. And like maybe plot twist, end of year, it's my new favorite artist.
Spotify Wrapped, number 1. You're in the 0.00001%.
Okay, that's the show. We'll be back in your feed on Saturday, so definitely subscribe. That way you never miss an episode. Please leave us a rating and a review in Apple or Spotify and tell your friends about us. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ICYMI_pod, and you can always drop us a note at ICYMI@slate.com.
ICYMI is produced by Vic Whitley-Berry, Kate Lindsay, and me, Candice Lim. Daisy Rosario is our senior supervising producer. Mia Lobel is Slate's executive producer of podcasts, and Hillary Fry is Slate's editor-in-chief. See you online.
Or drawing on our cult tattoos with a Sharpie.
Want to live better? We got a lot of work to do. Join Chris Hemsworth in National Geographic's new Disney Plus original series, Limitless. Live Better Now. I'm diving headfirst into cutting-edge science to uncover 3 powerful secrets to living better right now. The growth that occurs through any challenging experience is really what we seek. Chris Hemsworth stars in Limitless. Live Better Now. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu. It's showtime.
This episode is brought to you by FX's Alien Earth, the official podcast. Each week, host Adam Rogers is joined by guests, including the show's creator, cast, and crew, in this exclusive companion podcast. They will explore story elements, deep dive into character motivations, and offer an episode-by-episode behind-the-scenes breakdown of each terrifying chapter in this new series. Search FX's Alien Earth wherever you listen to podcasts.